All right, take two. We're real this time. Yeah, so I'm not going to be doing Dark and Darker. Whatever the last patch did kind of made it difficult for me to start the game without crashing my PC. So, that's cool. Good fix. Good fix. Um so we're going to get into this because this is what I can get working right now. But I am gonna have to find something by the time tomorrow rolls around. I believe they're planning on like some kind of 48-hour server maintenance, so I'm gonna have to find another game to break by tomorrow. Maybe I will install PUBG. Maybe it's time. I hear the game works at least, so there's that. All right. Kind of wanted this theme when I was doing Dark and Darker, but I feel like I gotta, let's see. Yeah, I think this is more Final Fantasy-esque, if you ask me. Yeah, let's get some stories going. So yesterday, off stream, I finished the rogue quest that I was on, and now I need to level up to level 15. And because I already did all the side quests from my earlier adventures, we can make that look better. Let's see. Oh, guess it just looks kind of janky. I like the magic HDR, but it makes the brights too bright. Like, look at my quest log. It's blinding now. Yeah, it's too much bloom. Fake HDR it is. Alright. Let's go kill some. Oh yeah, I want to put on a full story from the late great Benny. We're making progress. Just going right down the line here. Alright, let's get into some Deadpool today.
He explains the... Welcome to the Full Story series, where we take a compilation of old videos that we did here on Comicstorian and bring them together for a giant movie.
Need to kill a crab.
Jerry Dugan Deadpool run. This is my favorite Deadpool run of all. This is what is known as the Sad Clown run. You're going to see Deadpool go from being just an over-the-top, crazy guy to discovering his family, discovering that he wants to do better by his family, and then discovering his marriage and a bunch of other things. Hope you guys enjoy this run. If you enjoy this and you want to show more support for Comicstorian and you want to see more, consider going over to our Patreon, patreon.com/Comicstorian, where you'll find a lot of early access to videos and 5 different podcasts. I think I've wasted enough of your time.
I'm down a bench. I want to hear my Benny.
His career as a superhero started very painfully. It started with him entering the Weapon X program after he was diagnosed. One of the doctors who ran Weapon X wanted to know, why did they kick out a man who had the cure for cancer? But the technicians explained the man was mentally unstable, and there's a chance that his healing factor didn't even kick in until after he was expelled. So the man, who had his cancer cured, was literally thrown out with the trash because he was mentally gone. And Department K, the Weapon X project owners, were on board with this. But the doctor, he brought up a good point. Does anybody seem to realize
What's a level
how much
50
the cure for
bug
cancer
doing
is
over
worth?
here?
And he states he no longer works for Department K, and he kills the technician. But this doctor, whose name is Butler, has been knocking out Deadpool for the last 30-odd years, and he's been taking Deadpool's organs and blood for use in experiments. He hopes to try and cure every disease and problem known to mankind, because, as we discover, he's trying to save somebody. Deadpool has recently had the spirit of a large black woman named Preston, who works for S.H.I.E.L.D., placed in his head. She talks to him frequently and is always
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
So that's how Wade found out that his
Hey, when I get haunted.
removed by them knocking him unconscious, because she wasn't unconscious when he was. It doesn't take much for Wade to figure it out, though.
I mean, I couldn't get Dark and Darker to work, but
So he'd better go
I
find
do have Final Fantasy working.
And of course
Took a
he
little
does.
doing last night. I basically had to reinstall the game and some other stuff.
So Deadpool says
But
goodbye to Wolverine.
now I got a graphics mod on here, so everything looks a little more sexy.
Wade then heads off to talk to Captain America for advice on what he should do, and he finds the Cap in the middle of
What
the
level am I right now?
Cap tells Wade that he's
12.
a good soldier, but a bit of a head case. And Cap says that everyone needs somebody to talk to. And good luck with your mission, Wade. Wade contemplates what he should do next. This isn't normal for him. Normally he's on some crazy adventures where he fights his own clones, he kills dinosaurs, or he's bothering the X-Men. But to go back to where all of this started, he's gonna need to be ready. And since the people who jump him for his organs know that he knows what they do now, they won't be coming for him so quietly next time. So he prepares a surprise, and he cuts open his own leg to slip
You can actually use it on most games. It's called Reshade,
somebody is already
and
It's Wolverine.
basically
Says Deadpool
it acts as like a way for you to change different post-processing video effects, I believe they call it. So like, for example, I can make everything look kind of like anime-like. If I use my comic filter here, see how it kind of like adds hard lines. It's kind of hard to tell outside.
So that no one is climbing up the side of this building. And Deadpool declares on the headset that he stole Butler.
The one I like the most is the fake HDR.
Well, there goes our tactical advantage. He then sets off the microwave.
Makes it seem like the lighting is real, you know.
And he screams up at the men, I won't go back. I won't.
Although I like to go between that one and
Wade then mows down the mercenary sent to get him.
I really like the magic HDR effect, but you see how like all the white colors get all like glowy. Like my quest log is blinding now, but
been letting Deadpool roam free this whole time because
does
it's
look
far too
good.
dangerous to keep him here. Weapon X went crazy and killed everybody, so the only way that they can keep Deadpool is by keeping him sedated.
Okay, well, I guess it's gonna crash, so
He was expecting that this
at least it didn't take my whole computer down this
waking
time.
him up with an adrenaline shot. He snaps the nearest scientist's neck and he tells Preston to shut up for a second, let him work. And once he slaughters everybody in the room, they look around to see what they're dealing with. He's been getting
Slam, it
injected
didn't
with a
crash all
powerful
night
mind
either.
drug, something that allows you to implant memories into somebody else's head. Wade moves forward, killing everyone in his path. But they did something to him, and he's not feeling too well at all. Preston suggests...
You know what movie I watched last night I haven't seen forever? My Uncle Buck. Forgot how good of a movie that was. John Candy's the man.
And just then, Dr. Butler walks out, and he wants to explain what they're doing to Wade. Dr. Butler explains that they haven't been experimenting on him, they've been harvesting his organs, and what they're doing is right down there in that camp. And when they get there, Wade sees what they've been doing. Korea has been paying for super soldiers, so Dr. Butler has been grafting on other mutants' powers using Wade's tissue to make it.
Alright, let's have a little smoke
Wade
to
saw this, 'cause now he can kill
help
Butler with a remote.
artificially inflate my
Butler tells him,
patience.
"If you kill me, you'll never see your family again." Wade just laughs because his family abandoned him when he entered the Weapon X project. But Butler says, "No, the family that you started when you had a child with Carm." Wade turns and says, "What now?" And Butler shoots him in the head. With this knowledge, Wade is defeated mentally, and he explains to Preston that the child's name is Eleanor, and he knew about her. Carm came looking for child support, and he just laughed it off. The baby was just too beautiful to be his. But just then, a Nightcrawler Korean experiment named Kim arrives, and he says that the other experiments and him, they're planning to escape tonight, but their families are being kept
Nightcrawler
hostage elsewhere.
experiment.
They need Wade's help. He's the only person that Butler seems to be scared of.
Sad.
Wade, he's mentally broken. Thankfully, though,
I like the idea of Nightcrawler being locked up.
to control his body, so
Even
that
a
they can
fake
leave
one.
the area with Kim. As they go through it trying to find a way back outside, Wade comes across something interesting, though. Butler was watching when Wade asked for help. And he asked Wolverine and Captain America. So guess who Butler has sedated and being kept hostage right here in this Korean
That's a good
base?
get.
Oh boy, are these two gonna be pissed. Wade, now back in control of his body since his friends are here, explains that the Weapon Plus project has been continuing right here in North Korea, and he needs the both of them to help him shut this down for good. With the rest of the experiments, they plan the ultimate prison break. Wade begins firing at everybody, and it's time for Deadpool to be back in action. The experiments are all getting wrecked, but Captain tells the guards, "I urge you to surrender. You won't win this." The guards then get wrecked because they said, "Nah." And Captain lobs his shielded one while Wolverine leaps inside of another, letting Deadpool stick a grenade inside of the guy. The fight is epic, and once it's done, they win. And Deadpool slaps a Hello Kitty band-aid on Wolverine, and they get ready to end this with Butler. All of the experiments' families, Butler and his sister that he keeps reviving, and Deadpool's daughter, they're all being kept at Camp 23, so that's where everyone goes. Wolverine notices Wade's never been this quiet. And it's because he finally has something to lose that he didn't know he had. He's scared that he'll lose his daughter. The entire group goes to town killing everybody that stands between them and their families. And they do it. They kill all of the guards standing between them. Some of the families are freed, but there's a problem. The Korean army had enough time to Wade, he's excited. He's gonna finally see Carm again, and he's gonna meet his daughter. And he wants to know, will this sign help? But Wolverine can smell it in the air. He knows what happened, and he tries to tell Wade, to warn Wade, but Wade won't hear it. They're alive. He just found out about them. They can't be dead. He finally has something to fight for. Preston even begs him.
This truly
"Don't
was
go
his
look.
sad clown
Don't be the
phase.
one to go check." But there she is, on top of a pile of bodies. Carm has been killed, and Wade is
Let me
distraught.
fix my
Captain
layout
Wolverine began to
so
wire the entire
people can
place
see
to
the chat.
explode. And Wade just walks to Butler's little panic
Or
room.
not. Maybe I can't even move it.
Butler states that he called the entire Korean army, and Wade might as well just give up now. There's so much good that they could do together if Wade would just join Butler and help his cause. He tells Wade to stop looking past him, stop looking at his sister.
Can't believe I
Where is
can't
that
move
damn
that.
Korean
That
army?
can't be right.
Well, they're currently at the front gate, and standing at the front gate is Captain
Guess
America.
so.
And they really don't want to fight him. Butler tells Wade that his experiment gave Wade's life meaning. But Wade argues that Butler had no right to
So
put him in a tube,
strange.
no right to experiment on all these poor civilians, and no right to experiment on his own
You just have to know.
he tells
So when you
Butler's
install
sister-
Reshade, you have to know which graphics API that the game uses. So Final Fantasy, for example, uses DirectX 11. So when you install it, it'll ask you which graphics API package it's for. So you'll just basically, if you just do a Google search, you should be able to figure it out pretty easily. But yeah, that's really it, man. After you pick the right version of DirectX or whatever graphics API it's using, the next step will be will give you like the choice of all the filters. So this whole list here, you can pick as like separate packages. You don't have to have like every freaking thing on there, because most of them you don't need. Like I'm not going to use majority of these, but there are some cool ones. It's dorky. Like this doesn't really add any value, but like there's a VHS filter, for example, that makes it look like I'm in an old VHS tape. Yeah, here, I'll show you what it looks like. Yeah, this right here. I believe 6.1.1 is their latest release. Yeah, I use it pretty much with for every MMO. Like when I was playing Elder Scrolls Online, I used Reshade, and it helped a lot. Because those games play fine, but they definitely have that, like, MMO look, if you know what I mean.
Death before experimentation. She opens the door, letting Wade in. He walks in, snaps Butler's arm, and then he chokes him to death. No one gets to experiment on human beings. Wade thanks Butler's sister, and he helps her back to her bed. She just wants to rest now, without somebody trying to revive her. Wolverine walks in and says that there's plenty of explosives here to make this place blow sky high.
Yeah, but you can use Reshade is usable on like a lot of games. It works really well with Fallout.
Captain America and Deadpool all get out of there, and they say their goodbyes.
And Skyrim.
Wade ends up in Tokyo, contemplating what he had, and what he didn't even know he had. His daughter could be alive. He never found her body. And he says, leave him out of it. He'll just leave Preston to find his daughter if she's even alive. If it's even possible. But this isn't where our story ends. Very soon, the Watcher's secrets will be revealed to the world. Preston will find out that Deadpool's daughter is alive and well. But we'll cover that soon, because for now, Wade needs to cope. Recently, somebody killed the Watcher, and thousands upon thousands of secrets spilled back into the world. Deadpool is
by and large, when it comes to online games, you don't want to modify the actual client, because usually if they detect that you're trying to use a modded client, you can get your account banned. But Reshade kind of works like before and after. You know, it doesn't actually modify the client itself, just the way it processes graphics. Post-processing effects.
As many. It was recently discovered that Deadpool had a wife and a child, and that both had died as leverage against him. But a large black woman named Preston that was living in his head thought that maybe his daughter could still be alive. So she decided to continue searching until she could at least find a body to give Deadpool some closure. Well, after getting out of his head, she's been having some success, and on a visit to the S.H.I.E.L.D. helicarrier so that he could get some help fighting some vampires for his wife, which was Dracula's former bride, Preston shows Deadpool an official birth certificate.
Yeah, I forgot.
And his daughter's
Forgot
name.
Deadpool was Bork and Dracula's wife.
Well, before they could get any more information out of the birth certificate, the Avengers cornered the orb while he was holding the Watcher's eye.
Reshaded will go a long way with that. Like, just about every YouTuber that you see that uses like 1,000 different Skyrim mods to make the game look realistic.